And AI is a big topic in today's PIX Parenting Plus. New York is leaning towards stricter regulations regarding the use of devices and technology during the school day.
Our next guest is at the forefront of the digital wellness conversation. She partnered with Governor Hochul and the Clinton Foundation on the Teen Tech Council, which led to the cell phone ban in New York schools. Larz May is helping families navigate the digital age, and she's here with 5 things parents can start doing right now to protect their children. Larz, thank you for being with us, and good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's an exciting time in New York. I don't know if you all saw, but yesterday there was another bill that was passed to Governor Hochul's desk that will actually make it illegal for AI to pretend to be human to minors. So we're hoping she'll sign it to continue the momentum and leadership nationally.
Yeah, it's like every day, every week, this is changing with the technology. So let's talk about that. The city recently had a change of heart about opening the first AI-focused high school after some pretty serious backlash from parents and advocates. So do you think the city should possibly revisit that plan?
I don't, and here's why. Technology is a social determinant of public health, and AI is going to increase the divide in equity and economics, especially in a place like New York. What's on the ground is that while we have top-level legislation, fewer than 1 in 10 schools worldwide actually offer guidelines on how to use AI, but we know that 60% of kids are using AI in the classroom regardless. So my perspective is that just like we at Half the Story have taught kids to use social media in a healthy way, we actually have to teach them at the appropriate age, which is the key word, on how to use AI, because it's going to be critical for the future of the workforce. And education is falling behind and is much slower than the pace in which AI is rapidly changing the future of the workforce, humanity, and ultimately the skills that young people need to thrive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. There's no guidebook, right, for AI. So you have the Teen Tech Council to help you understand what exactly needed. What is it needed? So how does that work exactly?
So as I started to see these policies created across the United States, which first started as phone-free schools, and now, of course, we're moving into AI, I saw a key gap, which is that educators, admin were incredibly overwhelmed. So we tried to think about how could we reduce their load? How could we actually make sure that there's a feedback loop between the state level policy and local level implementation? And more importantly, how can we actually involve young people across the state and train them? And by the process of being in this council, give them the skills and the money that they need on the ground to implement phone-free fun or AI-free fun. And what we by training these young people and giving them funds, they started to create projects that combated the negative impacts of social media and AI. One kid created a craft cart. We have other kids that are hosting screen-free proms. And what we saw is that for kids, they really need social and emotional support in addition to the conversation around how is AI going to impact kids in the future. And we're able to create a closed feedback loop with the research that can actually inform the governor and Secretary Clinton on how these policies truly worked on a local level. Because without having micro level implementation and support, a lot of these policies can fall short.
Right. So with helping parents out here, how can parents set realistic expectations and boundaries, right, around the use of AI?
Well, I just want to name that 1 in 8 young people is actually using a chatbot for emotional support, which is what the legislation yesterday was passed is aiming to combat. And at this moment in time, parents have a choice. We saw that social media hacked our kids' dopamine. AI is going to hack their oxytocin or the love hormone, and we have to really figure out how do we get in the middle of that. So there's really 3 things that you can do as a parent. First, we know that it is inevitable that your kids are using AI. Start the conversation by saying, hey, I want to learn how to do this thing on AI. Can you help me? Because I know that you know more than I do. And actually put yourself in the student seat and let the kid be the teacher. The second is, in the process of that, we have to tell our kids and teach them that AI should never be the engine of the car. Your brain is the engine. AI should be the GPS. And what that looks like tactically is that you should put your ideas into AI and to collaborate with it to get to where you want to go, but it should never replace your human thought.
I mean, that's the thing. AI is here to stay. I mean, that's the bottom line, right? So how can it, though, be used to enhance learning?
Well, there's a couple of key ways. And one of the things that I anchor in, because kids do not respond to fear, is that we know that technology was designed for doom loops. So the key goal is how do we get kids into joy loops or active states of learning and consumption and creation. And so with AI, with adult and parent support, we can use it to personalize tutoring. So to work with kids who have IEPs and different learning challenges to create custom study guides that meet them where they are. Creative scaffolding. So actually using AI with a parent hand-on to actually give kids writing prompts and to work with them to activate the parts of their brain that AI would typically replace when it is writing your paper. Language learning, so real-time learning, translation, grammar feedback without embarrassment. And what if holes? And what I call that is really the curiosity rabbit hole. And the best case scenario, again, with adult supervision, is for a parent and a kid to go together and talk about what could be possible with AI in terms of ideas, experimentation, that really gets the kid to engage in that curiosity and imagination, which is one of the greatest things that kids have, but is being lost because they're passively engaging with the digital world. And then lastly, the biggest piece is that AI can be very helpful for kids that have accessibility challenges. So kids with dyslexia, AI is incredible. There's a lot of audio components that can actually read back to kids, dictation. And so the key is that you don't want AI to replace the human capabilities. You want to work with AI to help strengthen the human capabilities that many kids historically have not been able to get support on, like reading and speaking and writing. And when we can make that switch and really support our kids, they can have better outcomes. And I think that's the challenge with this debate around the AI school is that sure, we don't want our kids on AI all day. And that school is likely going to have many more policies and much more structure around AI because of the inherent knowledge that they have. And we're dealing with this knowledge gap right now on a national and global level. And kids are really the ones that know more than we do. So how do we work with them?
Exactly. All right, Larz, thank you so much. Hate to cut you off. We're so glad that you could help us navigate this new world. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.